Welcome to a full day of eating and training as a student athlete. Today I'm going to be taking you guys along some of my routines for my Saturday morning CrossFit class. So it's a longer session, so I like to make sure I get enough fuel in beforehand so I can have a good session, and also what my recovery meal post my workout looks like. So I'm going to be taking you guys through all of that and how I can recover and make sure I'm fueling well enough for them. So in the morning, I kind of like to keep it simple. I usually just have some oats, and then I take 5 grams of creatine a day. I do like to have my creatine before my workout on my Saturday CrossFit classes, just because I usually like to get it in at the same time. So oats and creatine are in there so far. Also gonna be adding some Greek yogurt. I love Greek yogurt like a lot. I eat it all the time. Next is gonna be peanut butter. I also love peanut butter, so usually I add about 15 grams of that. I don't ever want to add too much fat before my sessions, just because fat digests a little bit more slowly than carbs do, and when I'm doing a big session I find it can sometimes sit a little bit heavy in my stomach. And obviously we're going to add some cinnamon, because cinnamon makes everything taste better in my opinion. As you can see, we added a bunch more stuff, some raspberries, some banana, some cocoa nibs, and then I'm also going to be doing some honey just because I really like honey and it's good carbs pre-workout. So then we're just gonna mix that all up, and as we're mixing here, you can see it's not the prettiest, but I personally like everything to be really well mixed in my oat bowls, so this kind of works for me. But in the morning we're not trying to make it pretty, just trying to get some fuel in before the workout. Okay, so right now we're just sitting down enjoying my oats. I might actually have a bagel as well after this oat bowl, just because I could use a little bit extra carbs. But yeah, usually before my workouts, I'm trying to get something like this in. The workout's in about an hour and a half. My stomach can usually handle a little bit more food closer to the workout, but you know, as you get closer to your workout, you want to make sure you're just having simple carbs, nothing too complex. Obviously, know your body. If your body can handle a little bit more, then obviously you'd be fine, but let's dig in. Okay, so as suspected, after the oat bowl, I was still a little bit more hungry, so I'm just gonna go make myself a bagel right now. As of recently, I've really been enjoying these ones by Silver Heels. They're just cinnamon raisin bagels. They taste pretty good, so I'm gonna toast one of that up and then probably have it with some jam. And then as that bagel is toasting, I'm also just going to be having some vitamins. I have these every day. It's just magnesium. I also take omega 369 because I don't really like fish that much, and it's a good supplement to have. And then I also take vitamin D because here in BC in the winter, there's not as much sun as the summer, and you want to make sure you're getting that vitamin D. And then also as for what I put in here earlier, these were just electrolytes. It's just one of the electrolyte packets from Element. So I really like these electrolytes. If you first try them, they can be really salty. They were really salty for me when I first tried them, but I got used to them over time. They're really good. They have 1,000 milligrams of sodium, even got some potassium in there. So if you're doing a longer workout, endurance sports, if you're going on a bike, CrossFit, I find that they really help me stay hydrated during my sessions. Okay, bagel is out. We're now going to be adding some jam. So this will be the last thing I eat pre-workout, and then I'm not gonna have anything to eat during the workout. It's not really long enough for that, I find. I used to have something like a gel for this specific Saturday CrossFit workout, but I kind of stopped doing that because I find if I feel well enough beforehand, I don't need to bring extra fuel to the session with me. Okay, so the bagel has been prepared. We have the cinnamon raisin bagel and about 15 grams of jam, just some raspberry jam. So we're gonna get this down and talk about some of my goals for the session. Okay, so the time is, it's about just before 6:56 right now. My session usually starts at 7:30. So I go to a CrossFit gym. So basically there's a coach there that'll lead us in the workouts. And I try to go to CrossFit about 4 to 5, maybe 3 to 4 nowadays, times a week. I used to go 6 times, but I found when I started doing more endurance-focused sports like running and I started triathlon, I had to cut the CrossFit a little bit because otherwise there was just too much training and there wasn't enough proper time for me to recover because I was having pretty much triple training days every single day. So now that the CrossFit is a little bit less, it's a lot easier for me to enjoy the workouts and not feel totally slammed for my other workouts. And so my goals for this morning's class, it's about an hour and a half, so it goes 7:30 to 9:30, and we have 2 WODs during that period. So my goals, I'm gonna try and push really hard during the first workout. That's normally what I try to do because the first WOD of the day of this class is usually a longer format. So it's quite a longer WOD, up to 30 to 45 minutes, which if you've ever done CrossFit before, you know that's a little bit longer than the average. And then after that WOD is done, there's about a 10-minute break in the class. And then we go into the second WOD, which is the class WOD of the day. And if you're not familiar with the term WOD, it just means workout of the day. So after that more intense, high intensity WOD, the first one we'll do, we'll hop into the second one. And I usually try to take that one as just a move your body WOD because I'm usually quite tired from the first one. But yeah, we're just gonna do that. I'll see what the workout is when we get to the gym because it gets posted the morning of, kind of as you arrive, the coach will write it down. So we're gonna go do that, and then when I get back from the session, I will show you guys what my post-workout / recovery meal looks like. All right, so first meal of the day, pre-workout is fully down. We had the oats and then bagel, which I just finished. And in total, that was about 100 grams of carbs from that meal. That is quite a lot, but for the session I'm doing, it's high intensity and it's almost 2 hours, if not slightly over sometimes. So fueling a little bit more earlier on in the day, I found has really worked for my body, just setting myself up for success for the rest of the day and making sure I can do the rest of my workouts with a lot of energy. I'm usually quite hungry in the morning, so I do eat the majority of my calories in the morning as opposed to the evening. I'm definitely a fan of breakfast. It's my favorite meal of the day. So I try to, center my calories around training and try to match my energy input to my output so I can perform the best of my abilities in all the sports and activities that I do. So before we head to the session, I just thought I'd show you guys what's in my CrossFit gym bag. So usually I just have obviously my water, but then in the bag here, we just have my skipping rope. Although our gym does provide skipping ropes, I just kind of like my own. Here we just have wrist straps. These are super helpful if we're doing some heavy lifting and I need some more support. We have thumb tape over here, or just finger tape, I guess. I like to use this if a deadlift is really heavy. It just helps because sometimes if my lift is really heavy, it can kind of hurt my fingers, I guess. And then we have my pull-up grips, and then just a tube because it's getting cold out. And then my shoes are in this compartment. These are the Reebok Nano X4. I like them because they have a decent amount of support in the bottom. They're kind of a hybrid shoe, so I can use them for a little bit of lifting. They're not like strictly lifting shoes, but they're good for a lot of the different movements you do in CrossFit all across the board. So good shoe. So as you guys can see, it's still kind of dark outside. It's starting to get into winter here in BC, so darker earlier, and it's only gonna get light later. So this is like the winter training. It's a lot harder to get up in the morning, but you just gotta do it. And yeah, we're gonna be heading to the gym in about 5 minutes. Lovely rainy morning to go hit a gym sesh. Okay, so my gym is about like a 5-minute drive, so it's like not far at all. So we're just gonna drive there, and then we're gonna go do some mobility and stretching before the class starts. I usually like to arrive about like 15 minutes early, just so I can kind of roll out my quads, my calves, because they're usually tight for my runs. And I had a pretty intense trail run on Thursday, so even though that was 2 days ago, I did do like a shakeout run yesterday, but I'm finding my legs are still a little bit tired from that. So we're just gonna go foam roll, and yeah. So just pulled up to the CrossFit gym, just in that building, and I'm gonna go get a really solid workout in, and I'll see you guys for the post-workout meal after. So we just finished that session. We did one EMOM that was 35 minutes, and then kind of like an MREP situation that was 25 minutes. So we're gonna go back home now and get some post-workout fuel. Alrighty, so we just finished making the post-workout meals, and this is just a yogurt bowl. I love yogurt bowls. I love Greek yogurt, so it's just an easy go-to. Again, mine is not pretty. I just like mix everything in and it tastes good. So what we're working with here, we have some 0% Greek yogurt. We have some protein powder, some peanut butter for some healthy fats and to keep me satiated throughout the day. Then we have some frozen berries. I sometimes use fresh, sometimes use frozen. They're kind of going out of season now, so I like to lean towards the frozen ones. And then I also have some cocoa nibs again in here. Overall, really good post-workout meal. keeps me full, and it tastes really good. So we're gonna eat this and then probably just do some homework for a couple hours. I have quite a bit of homework from my one class and also a client I have to do some work for as well. So yeah, that's the plan for the morning. So I've been studying for a little bit now, maybe like 2 hours or something. And I got a little bit hungry as I was studying, so I made myself some avocado toast, just sourdough bread and avocado. I usually like to have this snack quite a bit. It's just kind of one of my go-tos. Tastes really good, and yeah.
So I just finished my study session in the morning, and now for lunch we're just having a sandwich. This is just a tomato and cheese sandwich, just a staple I like to have. I wasn't really too hungry after my avocado toast, so I'll have this. I might have a Ninja Creami though, one of my protein Ninja Creami bases. I really do enjoy those quite a bit, but yeah, for lunch right now, this is what we're working with.
So I ended up making the creamy, and we made like a chocolate raspberry creamy, so turned out really good. I usually use my base as like protein powder. I have like a chocolate one that I use and then just some milk, and I freeze it overnight and it turns into this amazing protein dessert thing. So yeah, this is the creamy. So this is the base and it turns out so nice every time. This is my protein ice cream. This is my little afternoon snack. And then my plan for the rest of the day is pretty simple. I'm gonna hang out with a friend probably for maybe an hour, not too long, and then I'm gonna come back and do my easy run. And then post run, I'll likely do some more work and probably have some dinner, and I'll show you guys what I'm aiming for in my dinners and how I use them to promote recovery. Okay, so we are just getting ready to go on the run now. It actually started raining like really hard, which is kind of unfortunate, but we're still gonna go out. Instead of doing just a road run though, I decided to just do an easy shakeout in my local mountain. So it's gonna be a trail run, and I'm just gonna be doing it with my mom. So just like a fun little chill run, and that's gonna be the second session of the day. And then after that, we'll come back, kind of wind down for the night. Probably do some more homework because I always seem to have homework these days. But we'll also do my post workout run meal, and that'll probably be dinner. And then before the run now, I am probably just gonna have some toast with some jam and peanut butter and probably an apple, just a little bit more carbs to keep me fueled and energized on the run. It probably won't be too many Ks, probably like just 5 or 6, just an easy shakeout, but I will try and film as much of it as I can if the rain is not bucketing too hard. So we're just driving to the trailhead right now. It's actually raining really hard, so we'll probably not run too far. Just a couple Ks, like an easy shakeout. So we've arrived at the trailhead. It's pretty hard, so yeah, I'm probably not gonna film, but I'll see you guys after the run, and I hopefully won't be totally soaked. Just finished the run. It's pouring with rain, as you can see. It was really good cool down though. So now we're gonna go back and make the post-run meal. Okay, so for our post-run meal, last meal of the day, I made myself some extra lean ground beef. We got some good protein in there, and then some fruit because I love fruit and it never hurts to get a little bit of extra carbs at the end of the day. So gonna wash this down with some water, and that's gonna be the last thing I eat for today. So this is just what my Saturdays look like. In the week, it's a lot different because I'm usually busy with stuff like work, school, so the week definitely looks a little bit different from the weekend. But the way I structure my nutrition and recovery, as well as my training times, I try to keep consistent throughout the week so that my body can get used to a rhythm. And that's going to be what a full day of eating looks like. And if you enjoyed the video, keep a lookout for more content like this in the future.